Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for programs located at our Prince of Wales campus and Georgetown Center. Could I ask you to please rise to welcome our graduates? remain standing as Jennifer McKittrick, a graduate of the Music Performance Program, leads us in the singing of O Canada. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Could I ask you to join me in expressing our appreciation to Jennifer for the beautiful singing of O Canada this afternoon? Hi, everyone. My name is Maureen Duffy, and I'm the registrar here at Holland College, and I am so pleased to be celebrating with you this afternoon. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional and unceded territory of the Abiguit Mi'kmaq First Nation. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you, graduates, to your families, and to your friends. Joining me on the stage this afternoon are Gordon McGuinness, member of the Holland College Board of Governors, Honorable Sonny Gallant, Minister of Workforce and Advanced Learning and Minister responsible for Labor, Paul Murnion, Program Manager, Applied Science and Technology, School of Visual Arts and Journalism and Metal Trades. Our guest speaker, Melody Dover, President and Creative Director of Fresh Media, and Dr. Brian McMillan, President of Holland College. Please join me in welcoming our platform guests. Today, we are pleased and proud to honor the graduates from our Prince of Wales and Georgetown Center families of programs. This is a very busy time at Holland College as we celebrate student achievement in 4 graduation ceremonies over the past 24 hours, honoring over 800 graduates from over 30 countries around the world. Students, this is a very special occasion for you, marking the culmination of your hard work and dedication as you continued on your educational journey. Please know that your Holland College family is extremely proud of you and wishes you all the best as you finish this chapter and continue on your path. We are honored that you chose Holland College on your journey, and we encourage you to stay involved and connected to the college. You are now joining more than 35,000 alumni from around the world as you graduate this afternoon. Be very proud of yourselves and congratulations. On behalf of the board, please welcome Gordon McGuinness to bring opening remarks.
Thank you, Chair. Platform guests, Minister Gallant, graduates, staff, friends, family, and all other interested attendees today. It's my pleasure to be here representing the Holland College Board of Governors to extend best wishes on behalf of all of them to you, today's graduates, for your academic milestones that you have achieved. Just before I begin my brief remarks, I'd just like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the retirement of the fine gentleman on the end, Dr. Brian McMillan, at the end of this calendar year. This is a fairly recent announcement, and I'm certainly pleased that his extraordinary leadership has enabled the college over the past 13 years to achieve many milestones and to thrive and succeed. Thank you. We are here today to celebrate your graduation. You should all feel proud, and although I expect in some cases there may have been some setbacks in terms of arriving at this day, anyway, you have had the foresight, importantly the determination, to persevere, and here you are today enjoying your success. I believe that you have learned that obstacles can be stepping stones to build a better life for yourselves. And today you have acquired skills, knowledge, and potential that will help you realize goals not only now but into the future. I encourage you as graduates to carry on with your dreams for the future and, importantly, your commitment to lifelong learning. It's becoming so important. A quote by Sarah Cadwell, an accomplished and respected American opera conductor, offers this appropriate advice: learn everything you can, anytime you can, from anyone you can, and there will always be a time when you can use this. My own personal journey had a few little bumps along the way, and one of the reasons I'm interested in being here, especially with the Prince of Wales graduates, 50 years ago this September, I enrolled in the last year of Prince of Wales as a university. It was very short-lived as a university. I had been attending the college prior to that and lost my direction, so I decided to go into the workforce, the private sector, where I worked for almost 3 years. But during that time, I still wanted to get a degree. So, making some fairly serious decisions and leaving a fairly good job, I returned to Prince of Wales and finally obtained my degree at UPI because Prince of Wales ceased to exist. But 50 years ago, Holland College was born, and you people are part of that today. I'd like to welcome our graduates as new members of the Holland College's alumni. Today, right in a few minutes, when you walk across the stage, you'll be the newest members of that alumni. And in our job, your input and feedback is important to make better decisions for the college. We are eager to hear of your endeavors, and a wonderful way to keep in touch, not only with the college, but other alumni, is through the Holland College Alumni Facebook page. So, on behalf of the Board of Governors, congratulations, enjoy the festivities, the long weekend, and be proud of a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. We now call upon Honorable Sonny Gallant to bring greetings from the province.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Platform guests, very important guests, graduates, loved ones. Good afternoon, everyone. In graduating, and congratulations on reaching this important moment in your lives. I have the utmost respect for the determination and hard work it took you to get here today, and you should be very proud of yourselves. As you look to the future and to your next steps, I encourage all of you to consider the career opportunities that are right here on Prince Edward Island. You are graduating at a time of real opportunity in the province of Prince Edward Island. Over the last 2 years, there was 4,000 new jobs created here in the province, and currently there are more than 2,000 jobs that are available on Work PEI alone. Wages are growing, and as you know from your time here at Holland College, the quality of life in Prince Edward Island is second to none. I know we are recognizing graduates from a variety of programs here today, everything from construction to childcare to the arts. Whatever your next steps are, I encourage all of you to explore a career right here in PEI. You are graduating from one of Atlantic Canada's most highly regarded post-secondary institutions, and graduates like you will make our province and the world a better place. As you explore the opportunities here on Prince Edward Island, there are great programs available to help you transition into the workforce. The Graduate Mentorship just for one. This program can help you gain experience in jobs relevant to your training, and the program has recently expanded to support 300 more graduates. WorkPEI.ca connects job seekers to employers and contains useful information on programs like Graduate Mentorship. I encourage everyone to take a look at WorkPEI.ca and register. I know that through your commitment to excellence in your chosen fields, today will be just the beginning of your future success. I wish you well in the next steps of your journey. I also thank all of your loved ones here today who no doubt have supported you and helped you throughout your education. And thank you to the great staff here at Holland College that helped you along your way. Now, I don't have to tell you that Prince Edward Island is a small place. That may even be why you decided to continue your education here. The truth is, our smallness connects all of us. We embrace it, and we use it to our advantage. Islanders by nature are ambitious and hardworking. We are dreamers, but also doers. We know how to make things happen. We have companies who sell their products around the world and visitors who would rather come here than anywhere else. Holland College is a shining example of how we do so many things well here, even more than places that are much larger than us. We are small and we are a mighty island. In a place that has a lot of creativity and innovation, it is easy to believe that anything is possible. The future is bright here on Prince Edward Island. I can't wait to see how you will make your mark after today. And once again, I want to congratulate you all. And I also want to wish Dr. McMillan a very successful, or a very long and healthy retirement. It certainly was a pleasure working with him, and I know we'll get to work some more before December. And certainly a pleasure to be here today. And once again, congratulations to all and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Minister Gallant. It's my pleasure to introduce to you this year's student speaker, Brandon Tran, who now calls PEI his home after moving from Toronto. He was a personal care assistant for people with intellectual disabilities before coming to PEI. Brandon was a BA philosophy student and an alumnus of St. Francis Xavier University. Brandon is graduating today from the Heritage Retrofit Carpentry program. He felt the call to be able to produce and create things with his hands, and he found the Heritage program to be a perfect fit. Aside from graduation, Brandon has some more very exciting news. Brandon's #1 supporter is here today to celebrate his success, and her name is Shalise Richard. The exciting news, they got engaged last month and will be getting married here in October. Please join me in welcoming our student speaker, Brandon Tran.
Honorable Stanley Gallant, Mr. Gordon McInnes, Dr. Brian McMillan, President of Holland College, distinguished guests, esteemed instructors and staff, loving family and friends, Holland College class of 2018. Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Tran. I'm a graduate of Heritage Retrofit Carpentry. As I began composing this speech, I looked to other commencement speeches online. With the exception of such a speech as that of Solzhenitsyn at Harvard 30 years ago next month, I found myself wondering, why are graduation speeches so full of it? Everyone loves to hate a bad cliche. Our college days were the best of our lives. That's a lie. I, for example, have never been poorer. None of that here. No bad jokes either. Not many, anyway. If you stick around, I'll tell you a short story. It even has a moral to it. And before I leave, I'll let you in on a little secret, the meaning of life. But first, here's the story. It is, unsurprisingly, my story. The story of a child to war refugees, often already displaced people. Childhood was more or less pleasant until my father's gambling addiction broke up our family and lost us my childhood home. My brother, my mother, and I moved in with our grandparents in Toronto. We were poor. I was poorly dressed, an awkward kid with bad acne, and pretty depressed. I ended up in the high school with the lowest average household income and the highest rate of immigration in the country. I decided to make the best of an unpleasant situation. I found solace by spending most of my time bringing food to the homeless, the hungry, and the lonely of downtown Toronto. At some point, though I was an awkward, oft-volunteering nerd, my classmates made me high school president. Hooray. I still lived in my grandparents' house, where no one really read, where everybody spoke languages forgotten by and foreign to me. And without my father, I hadn't learned to use a power tool, to make anything with my hands, and I have never learned to bike. I'm not telling you this short story to elicit pity or congratulations. Instead, I am telling you this story as a meek example that what makes a story of a life a good story is not its comparison to other stories of other lives. In Call of Duty online, for everybody over 40, that's a video game. In Call of Duty, being a good player means being the player who beats everybody else, who has the highest score. Fortunately, life is not much like Call of Duty. I am terrible at it. Life is really a story. The story of a life is good when its ending is better than its beginning. Here's the end of my story for now. I learned to really read and to really think while obtaining a philosophy degree at St. Francis Xavier University. I learned to make things out of words. I ran into a problem, however, as I learned also that the philosophy factory was not hiring. So I came to Holland College, where in my first hour of heritage retrofit carpentry class, I used a power tool for the first time. It was a reciprocating saw. I learned to use tools safely and to build things out of wood. I learned skills that I did not have before. Here's the moral of the story and the meaning of life. If you tuned out, now's a good time to tune back in. You'll meet plenty of people in your life who seem to have it all together. The looks and the hair, the smarts and the personality, the car and the house, the pool and the 2.5 dogs. Let me let you in on the little secret now. The meaning of life isn't to be somebody else, to assume her successes, to assume his problems, visible and invisible. The meaning of life is happiness. Not the happiness that beer brings you, and not the happiness that getting stuff brings you. Happiness in life, happiness in human life, is the happiness that comes from human excellence, This human excellence is not perfection. Excellence is doing something well. Your human excellence is doing all the things you do to the best of your human ability. Who were you yesterday, last week, last month, last year, last decade? Your unique human excellence consists of your past, your struggles, your achievements. Your excellence consists of your today. You're making the best with your yesterday. You're doing better than last week. If you want to know, really, whether you are successful, don't compare yourself with who someone else is today. Instead, compare yourself with who you were yesterday. To drive the point home, the meaning of human life is happiness, flourishing, human excellence, doing better today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm finally going to teach myself to ride a bike. What are you doing tomorrow, Holland College class of 2018? Your life is yours. Your happiness can be too. Leave here today. Pursue excellence. Be happy and live well with courage. Congratulations, Holland College, Prince of Wales class of 2018. My time is up. I thank you for yours. Good luck and Godspeed.
Brandon. Wow, Brandon, thank you so much for sharing your powerful story with us. And you know, everybody thought they were just coming here today to a graduation ceremony, but now you've discovered the meaning of life. So those were very moving words, and we thank you, Brandon, for sharing with us. I'd like to call on Paul Murnion, Program Manager, to introduce our guest speaker today.
Thank you, Maureen. Guests, parents, grandparents, friends, staff, of course, platform guests, Mr. Glant, but most importantly, the grads. It's my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Melody Dover, dubbed Superwoman, and we'll find out more later. Melody started her own branding, digital, and market agency. After all, she is a grad of the Visual Arts, Visual Communications, and Interactive Multimedia programs at the college. Prior to Fresh Media, over her 2.5 decades work in the industry included experience as a children's book illustrator, editorial designer, publishing project manager, freelance designer, and now a successful entrepreneur. Fresh Media started with the vision of using her creativity to help with the marketing missions of clients both large and small. Since its inception, Fresh Media's team has the opportunity to help launch startups, brand development for food products, campaigns, national promotions, and regional clients in a variety of industries, as well as assisting in the marketing of local non-profits. Melody has been awarded the 2005 BDC Young Entrepreneurs Award, and in 2006, she was nominated for the 2 Canadian Media Awards and awarded the inaugural Chamber of Commerce Emerging Business of Excellence. In 2009, Melody was nominated for the Canadian Profit 100 Top Female Entrepreneurs. And in 2010, Fresh Media won the Growing Business Award from the Prince Edward Island Business Women's Association. A highlight for the company was winning the Best Social Media Campaign at the Atlantic Interactive Marketing Conference in 2012. And also a national finalist for Best Campaign in Atlantic Canada at the Design Edge Magazine's Award, 2012. In 2014, Fresh Media was selected as the national winner for the Best Integrated Campaign for for the Burger Love campaign for the Canadian Marketing Association. Most recently, Fresh Media was the winner for the 2016 Best Social Media in Canada Award from the Canadian Agri Marketing Association Awards for their work with the PEI Potato Board. Fresh Media owns and manages their successful PEI Burger Love campaign, now in its 8th year, generating $11.3 million in sales of burgers alone since its inception, benefiting the restaurants industry, local farmers, the beef industry, and the island economy as a whole. Has anybody not heard of Burger Love in here? Probably not. Most recently in 2017, Melody was honored with being recognized as Holland College 2017 Holland College Alumni Award recipient. Along with being part of a local nonprofit board, Melody is also a judge for the annual Canadian Online Marketing Awards, Applied Arts Magazine Community, and the Canadian Marketing Awards. She can also be spotted on panels and presentations to other entrepreneurs across the province. When not at Fresh Media, Melody spends her time with her husband and business partner, Rob, son William, and manages their summer cottage rental business. So please welcome Melody Dover.
Good afternoon. So I don't have the official title of Superwoman, but this morning I was called into action as Wonder Woman. The speaker from this morning couldn't make it. They were trapped and couldn't fly home. So what do when you have an opportunity? You take it. So the good news is my speech is going to be so smooth this afternoon because I worked out all the kinks this morning. So you guys can just applaud me now if you want, because I expect I'm going to do that much better. And also, I'm going to do one quick thing because, you know, in today's day and age, what you want to do is you want to mark the moments. So I'm going to take a selfie with all of you. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Because, like, you guys don't do this at all, right? This is a new thing? Okay, and this side. Awesome. Oh, and you know what? Here, how about you guys too? Let's get everybody in. Okay, cheese. It's never as flattering as you think, especially when you leave it on the selfie side and then you turn your phone on and you get that little fright of, oh my God, that's what I look like from the chin up. So, my name is Melody Dover, and Paul did a tremendous recap for my Lifetime Achievement Award, it seems. But the real reward for me today is to have an opportunity to come speak with all of you. And one thing that I want to highlight is a particular quote that sticks with me, and I think it'll stick with you. And if you're of a certain vintage, you'll recognize what movie it's from. If not, I'm going to tell you what movie it is so you can go watch it. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. The statement is from the infamous Ferris Bueller movie. I've seen it more than once, and I'm sure a few faces way back there have for sure. This was written by the director, John Hughes, and it completely encapsulates today's moment. As a 1995 graduate of the Visual Communications program with Holland College, now the graphic design program, yay, graphic design graduates, I can attest to just how fast life can go by and the importance of stopping to take note of the moments like this one. Today is a celebration for you guys. It's all about your accomplishments to date, what you have yet to accomplish, and the beginning of your next chapter. So I made a little suggestion this morning to everybody. I'm going to do that again today, this afternoon. Take a moment, look around, recognize who you're sitting beside, who the people are that are here for you today, your supporters, the instructors, family, friends, people that have been cheering you on from the beginning, and give yourself a little pat on the back. Physically is good, mentally is good, but you know what? You've done really great just to get to today. This is the beginning of lots of great stuff. 23 years ago, I sat in your position as a newly minted graduate from Holland College, and I remember journalist Norma Lee McLeod was our guest speaker, and she was telling us about her particular journey, her career path, inspiring words, encouragement to help us as we move forward to our next chapter. Do I recall every word that she spoke? Not quite, because I may have been a little bit tired from the previous night's festivities, so I applaud all of you for getting a chance to sleep in this morning before you came to this afternoon's graduation ceremonies. But even if I don't remember what she said, I remember how I felt. And I felt ready. I knew I was ready. I was ready to start. Start what? I wasn't 100% sure at the time, but I was ready for the first step. And that's where Holland College comes in. Holland College helps you get ready. Whatever field you're venturing into, whatever path you've chosen, Holland College helps you feel ready for that next step. And I'm sure your time spent at Holland College not only involved developing new skills or honing some of the skills you may have already had, but also lifelong relationships, friendships, the types of relationships where you can call on people after graduation, support each other, ask for advice, go for a coffee, take selfies, connect with one another, and stay in touch. I not only made some pretty great friendships with my classmates as well as my instructors, but to top it off, I married one of my Holland College friends. So any of you people in relationships right now, I'm not saying pop the question today, but it could happen. I guess you could say that I not only gained an education from Holland College, I gained a little bit more. He's about this tall. As I had said at my own graduation, I felt ready, and I was, but I still never would have imagined that that first step would bring me full circle to where I am today. And how did that first step start? Well, if I think way, way back, I was raised by entrepreneurs. I just didn't realize it at the time. I simply thought having a family business was something everybody did. I thought it was the norm. And as the youngest of 8 kids, I witnessed my parents working together in our tourism business, and of course, we all pitched in too. From the age of 7, I helped clean rooms and bathrooms, many toilets, showers and whatnot, book guests, answer calls, assist in the office. I thought it was just part of doing chores. Little did I know that, well, they probably could have paid me better, but I had lodging, so that's good. But it was really just a part of life. It was part of our home. It was part of our family. And in those early days, my parents instilled a strong work ethic in each of us. Their philosophy was that if you put in the hard work towards a goal, the journey is sometimes even better than the reward itself. To this day, I still believe that good things will come if you put in the work, no matter how challenging it may seem at the time. And as many islanders, post-graduation, I decided to depart. I left the province. I headed north. I spent 3.5 years in the Northwest Territories in Yellowknife, where I built on my career, had great opportunities there. I started out with the newspaper industry, with editorial layout, with Northern News Services. Along with that, I was doing design and illustration contracts on the side. And my time in the north reinforced the independence and perseverance that my parents had instilled in me, but I was soon ready to return to the island. Once back on our red shores, I continued in the newsprint industry at Island Press, illustrated, published children's books. I love the news industry. I always have. I'm always fascinated by journalism and stories that people share, and I have to admit, I really loved Brandon's story. You're a really great representation of achieving things and what can be done if you put your mind to it. But I knew that I needed something more. I was ready for something new. So I returned to Holland College to take the multimedia program. And when I completed that training, I did contemplate leaving the island again, as many islanders do. Because the business that I wanted to work for, the job that I wanted, didn't exist yet. So I decided, well, I will make it. I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to build the company for the place where I would like to work every day, where I can feel accomplished, where I can feel that I'm building on my skills, where I feel happy at the end of the day. And that started Fresh Media, which is going to be 15 years next month. When I started, I had a second-hand computer, $1,200 cash, absolutely no funding, no loans, nothing. I just had the nerve to start. I had the nerve to jump in with both feet. And I expected to work solo for the first 5 years and then potentially hire people. But things moved much quicker than I had planned, and in 2006, we were a rapidly growing company of 6. And at that point, my husband, you know that guy I mentioned earlier that went to Holland College, that I ended up marrying, yada yada, Rob, well, he joined the partnership. And in 2009, we had grown again to a company of 13. It was all-consuming. It was rapid growth. It was hectic. It was fun, but I was ready for something more again. I wanted to start a family, and I also wanted to have a permanent location for our company office. Simple enough, sounds easy, not quite. And the reason I bring this up is because sometimes you'll go through storms. You'll go through challenges and things that you have no control over whatsoever. But you need to go through them to get to the other side. After a series of disappointments, fertility issues, and being diagnosed with a growth in my brain, it was certainly stormy seas. Along with these challenges and requiring in vitro fertilization, our business was growing faster than we could sometimes keep up with. It was a tough balance to keep on top of everything, but we decided to throw another log on the fire and add more to our plate, and we bought a 150-year-old building to renovate and make our permanent office. So over the span of 9 months, we purchased a building, renovated it, went through IVF, and had a baby. Yay! Was it crazy? Maybe. Would I recommend it? Probably not. But the rewards far outweighed the challenges. But then it was smooth sailing, right? Because you went through all that hard stuff, so that should be easy. Not really. Not long after becoming a mom, we had challenges within our business. We made some bad decisions, we made some good decisions, had some failures and successes. It was a mixed bag, but during this time we adapted. As a company, we evolved, and I evolved as well as a person. We rode out that storm as a team, and we were all better for it. And I bring this up because you will go through these storms, not my storms, your own. You'll have challenges. You will have doubts. You will think, I'm the only person ever to fail at this thing. Everyone else can do it great. I'm the only one that can fail at this. You want to give up. But I urge you not to. Don't give up. Keep going. You will get through these tough days. And when you have an opportunity to reflect on them after the fact, you'll see just how much they have helped you grow, adapt, and succeed for your next goals that you set for yourself. One thing that we say within our company, and I like to say it life-wise as well, is what if? Love those 2 words. Those 2 words represent possibility, opportunity, things can happen. But I know that sometimes what if can lean towards the negative. What if it all goes wrong? What if I can't do this thing I really want to do? But I like to think of it as a positive. What if it can go great? What is the best thing that can happen? What great thing could you be missing out on because fear's holding you back? With your thinking that what if everything goes wrong when it could go so much better? It could go right even. Think back to the first day at Holland College. Your first day. What if I take this course and start a new career path? What if I return to school to build on my skills? What if I find that one thing I'm really good at? The power of what if can be an amazing thing if you look at it from a positive perspective. When I was asked to speak today, I admit I was flattered, excited, nervous, concerned, hopeful. And since that day many months ago, it gave me an opportunity to reflect. Think about my own graduation, the journey I've been on since then. And what if I was in the audience with you today? What would I say to myself if I was a 2018 grad? And here's a few things that came to mind. Number 1, you have to earn it. Whatever goals you may set for yourself, no one will achieve them for you. You need to put in the work to earn it. Knowing you are the one responsible for your own achievements will help you propel to the next goal, the next thing you want to achieve, the next accomplishment. Since starting my own company, each day we earn what we keep. Hard work is the only path to success. Number 2, know your worth. Whether you are an employee, a solopreneur, a freelancer, or starting your own business, it is important to know your value, what you bring to your role, Don't downplay the great things that you can achieve. Believing in what you are capable of is half the equation of succeeding. Number 3, stand up and stand out. No matter where your career path leads you, don't sit by the sidelines. Stand up, stand out, take that risk, take a chance, make people take note of what makes you so special in your field. You can't expect others to stand up for you if you won't do it yourself. So stand up and others will stand with you. Number 4, this is a big one. Sometimes we don't think we can do it, but be brave. There will be times when you may have to dig deep to get through a rough patch in your life, career, relationship, or whatever. You might even just have trouble trying to open a peanut butter jar. Be brave. You'll get through it. We are all capable of being more brave than we expect. Lean into that strength and the strength of others, and you'll be able to achieve great things. Forget the haters and that inner voice of doubt that we all seem to have as humans, that little lizard brain that tells us to run away instead of sticking with something. You are more awesome than you know. You just don't realize it yet. Although some of you might think you're awesome, and that's cool too. And finally, number 5, and this kind of brings it back to one of the points that Brandon had mentioned, where he mightn't have felt very great at a particular point in his life, but he started doing things for others. Number 5, do good. One of my aunts, who's now passed on, she was a nun. She might not know the same meaning of life as Brandon, but she knew a lot. And she had a simple philosophy: do good. You don't need to worry about not being great. Just be good. Do good. Do good for yourself. Do good for others. Do good for your community. Doing something good will return good things to you 100 times over, maybe even more. So as you accept your diploma today, remember to take a moment to recognize your accomplishments and celebrate this amazing memory with those you love most. As for the last number of years since my own graduation, I can honestly say it has been an amazing journey I never could have predicted, but ever so grateful about the experiences along the way, including this one. Thank you again to Holland College, the faculty, graduates, friends, and family for being a part of this memorable moment. I'm truly honored to be sharing in this day with all of you. Best of luck to all the grads. And I expect that one of you here in the audience may be standing at the podium at a future date, sharing your own story with that year's graduating class. So thank you, and happy graduation.
Here. Thank you very much, Melanie. Great message. What if you could teach me how to teach my kids cleaning bathrooms and showers as a daily chore? Okay? On behalf of the Holland College community, and of course the graduates, thank you very much for your powerful message.
Thank you again, Melody. It was an amazing speech. It was just as amazing the second time, even more amazing. Thank you. And now let's get to the business of presenting the diplomas and certificates to the graduates we are recognizing today. The credentials will be awarded in the order as presented in your program. Our president, Brian McMillan, will present the credentials to the graduates, and he will be joined by program managers and faculty. And please feel free to come forward and take pictures as your graduate approaches the stage. We'll begin with the students graduating from the Applied Sciences and Engineering Technology, starting with Architectural Technology. And we begin with Jaden Abriel, Kingston, Nova Scotia. Sarah L. Kennedy, Stratford, PEI. Christy L. McCachran, Belfast, PEI. Santana Page McHugh, Summerside, PEI. Mark McKenna, 48 Road, Cardigan, PEI. Brandon Power, Bridgetown, Nova Scotia. Joshua Douglas Proud, Charlottetown, PEI. Vesley Raymondville, Abaco, Bahamas. Brenna Schneider, Greenwood, Nova Scotia. Lindsay Alicia Stetson, O'Leary, PEI. Chen Sun, China. Sarah Wright, Antigonish, Nova Scotia. We'll now move on to the graduates of the Construction Technology and Management Program. Beginning with Chinonso Onyeoma, River State, Nigeria. Clintwood L. Roll Jr., Freeport, Bahamas. Wendell Smith, Nassau, Bahamas. We'll now move on to the graduates of the Wildlife Conservation Technology Program. Graduating from Wildlife Conservation, starting with Lindsay Burke, Mount Forest, Ontario. Christine Elizabeth Hannafin, Guysborough, Nova Scotia. Jordan Clarence Hibbs, Northwest River, Newfoundland. Aidan Andrew Isbell, Springfield, New Brunswick. Aaron Jackson, Morel, PEI. John Miller, Stratford, PEI. Hannah Murnahan, Dona, PEI. Adam J. Pelkey, Perth Andover, New Brunswick. Brittany Steele, Union Road, PEI. Catherine Zember, Oysterbed Bridge, PEI. We'll now move on to the graduates of our Computer Studies program, beginning with Computer Information Systems. Beginning with Jorge Amara, Jalisco, Mexico. Dale M. Allen, Nassau, Bahamas. Ryan Blanchard, Stratford, PEI. Brett Cheverie, Charlottetown, PEI. Jeremy Cormier, Charlottetown, PEI. Evan Peter Cusack, Charlottetown, PEI. Wyatt E. Gallant, Summerside, PEI. Keith Goddard, Charlottetown, PEI. Daniel Godoy Esparza, Escobedo, Mexico. Fernand Gotel, Georgetown, PEI. Gideon Landry, Charlottetown, PEI. Michael LeBlanc, Amherst, Nova Scotia. Joy Lundrigan, Charlottetown, PEI. Luke McCausland, Kensington, PEI. Colin John McIsaac, Stratford, PEI. Crystal Maddox, Charlottetown, PEI. Jesus Andres Maldonado Cepeda, Monterrey, Mexico. Patrick McGee, Montague, PEI. Anthony McGuigan, Charlottetown, PEI. Ewan Noble, Cardigan, PEI. Jordan Webster, Morel, PEI. Moving along to Health and Community Studies, beginning with Child and Youth Care Worker. Emily Brown, Ottawa, Ontario. Sarah Ruth Chason, Cornwall, PEI. Emma Marie Cole, Kensington, PEI. Hannah Dykerman, Charlottetown, PEI. Alex Ellsworth, Charlottetown, PEI. Michaela A. Flood, Riverdale, PEI. Kyle Houghton, Charlottetown, PEI. Barry McIsaac, Charlottetown, PEI. Stacy Montgomery, Summerside, PEI. Michelle M. Murphy, 9 Mile Creek, PEI. Caitlin Rochford, Kensington, PEI. Christine Ron, Freeton, PEI. We'll now move on to our primary care paramedicine graduates. Beginning with Nathan B. Archibald, Aylesford, Nova Scotia. Matthew Bowie, Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Allison Ray Bradley, Johnsons River, PEI. Vincent C. Brow, Havre-Boucher, Nova Scotia. Brody Richard Cousins, O'Leary, PEI. Priscilla Kern, Cardigan Head, PEI. Jocelyn Doucette, Oysterbed Bridge, PEI. Morgan Hayes, Kentville, Nova Scotia. Pamela Henniger, Charlottetown, PEI. Nicole J., Mount Stewart, PEI. Gabriel Jenkins, Paradise, Newfoundland. Braden Knox, Hampshire, PEI. Maggie McCachran, Mississauga, Ontario. Samantha Dawn McIsaac, Charlottetown, PEI. Matthew McMillan, Sydney, Nova Scotia. Jeff Mills, Truro, Nova Scotia. Daniel Phelan, Charlottetown, PEI. Sarah D. Rand, Canning, Nova Scotia. Christina Summers, Cardigan, PEI. Kristen Melissa Nicole Visser, Winslow South, PEI. Emily Winters, Charlottetown, PEI. Now moving on to the metal trades, beginning with plumbing. Just wait. Beginning with Brett Arsenault, Bayvert, New Brunswick. Tristan Dixon, North Milton, PEI. Lyndon A. Evans, Abaco, Bahamas. Justin Ferguson, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tiana Grant, Vernon Bridge, PEI. Tim S. Parsons, Charlottetown, PEI. Logan White, Stratford, PEI. Now moving on to the welding fabrication program. Beginning with Spencer William Arsenault, Montague, PEI. Carrie Edward Bellamy, Fort Augustus, PEI. Sheldon Burrows, Mill Cove, PEI. George Hardy Callahan, Truro, Nova Scotia. Mackenzie Campbell, Port Elgin, New Brunswick. Colton Duckworth, Charlottetown, PEI. Justin Robert Joseph Gallant, Summerside, PEI. Gilbert Hanna Jr., Freeport, Bahamas. Noah Inman, Montague, PEI. Connor Jenkins, Mount Herbert, PEI. Kyle Lefebvre, Toronto, Ontario. William McDonald, Charlottetown, PEI. Ethan McKay, Montague, PEI. Devin McNeil, Charlottetown, PEI. Dawson McCarthy, Gaspereau, PEI. Jacob Provost, Bloomfield, PEI. Jake Ross, Peaks, PEI. Joshua Smith, Montague, PEI. We'll now move on to the School of Performing Arts, beginning with dance performance. Beginning with Kelly Lewis, Conception Bay South, Newfoundland. Duncan Beren McCauley, Colebrook, Nova Scotia. And moving on to music performance. Aaron Ferguson, Freeport, Bahamas. Ania Ferguson, Freeport, Bahamas. Jose Goudet, Mammercook, New Brunswick. Or Jose. Sorry, Jose. Joshua Gerard Langell, Stratford, PEI. Jacob McCachran, Cornwall, PEI. Jennifer McKittrick, Ottawa, Ontario. Johan Carl Mebs Gonzalez, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Connor Mowry, Capon Bridge, West Virginia. Moving on to theater performance. Avalon Serena Dennis from York, PEI. Morgan J. Duncan, Georgetown, PEI. Cassandra Goudreau, St. John, New Brunswick. Kennedy Laird, Cornwall, PEI. Zara C. Martinez Garcia, Monterrey, Nuevo Leon. Jillian Oakley, Cornwall, PEI. Moving on to the School of Visual Arts and Journalism, beginning with Fundamental Arts. Starting with Cassandra Penelope Aragones Campos, Chihuahua, Mexico. Samantha Gallant, New Glasgow, PEI. Natalie LeBlanc, River Hebert, Nova Scotia. Tanisha Sears, Nassau, Bahamas. Moving on to graphic design graduates. Beginning with Madeline Arsenault, Summerside, PEI. Paul Atwood, New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. Stephanie Butt, Portugal Cove, Newfoundland. John Alexander Fox, Freeport, Bahamas. Jacob McDonald, Rusagonis, New Brunswick. Emma McPhail, Cornwall, PEI. Allie McNeil, Amherst, Nova Scotia. Tamel Cleveland McPhee, Freeport, Bahamas. Damaris Nuoff, Anglo Rustico, PEI. Shelby Sudsbury, Kensington, PEI. Greg Webster, North Granville, PEI. Moving on to the journalism graduates. Beginning with Emily Acorn, Charlottetown, PEI. Alicia Campbell, Cornwall, PEI. Stephen Clark, Cornwall, PEI. Bradley James Collins, Charlottetown, PEI. Amanda Lee Doucette, Summerside, PEI. Chloe Goodyear, Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Grace Gormley, Charlottetown. Haley Lynn Jardine, Sunny Corner, New Brunswick. Allison Jenkins, Brookvale, PEI. Cameron Lynch, Nassau, Bahamas. Ryan McCachran, Belfast, PEI. Benjamin McIntosh, Stratford, PEI. Haley McLeod, Mermaid, PEI. Ethan Jesse James Paquette, Charlottetown, PEI. We'll now have the graduates of our photography and digital imaging program. Beginning with Dylan Arsenault, Charlottetown, PEI. Lee Christensen, Calgary, Alberta. Megan Shea, Charlottetown, PEI. Danielle Smith, Nassau, Bahamas. We'll now move on to the graduates of the video game art and animation. Shindrim Ajeti, Charlottetown, PEI. Gabriel Arsenault, Rustico, PEI. Armando Jordan Baldwin, Charlottetown, PEI. Justin Buchanan, O'Leary, PEI. Maggie Campbell, Bonshaw, PEI. Willis Ronald Compton, Summerside, PEI. Alexander McAdam, Morel, PEI. Devin Simmons, Charlottetown, PEI. Ji Hong Song, South Korea. We'll now move on to trades and industrial technology, beginning with energy systems engineering technology. Rodney Bain, Nassau, Bahamas. Kamal Farrar, Charlottetown, PEI. Patricia Goody, St. Nicholas, PEI. Mohammed Jama, Charlottetown, PEI. Wellington M. Kemp III, Freeport, Bahamas. Reese J. Newson, Charlottetown, PEI. Gordon Veach, Cimbria, PEI. We'll now move on to our graduates from the Heritage Retrofit Carpentry program. Beginning with Logan C. Bonneville, Coburg, Ontario. Robert Brown, Charlottetown. Kelly Casely, Kensington, PEI. Leaf Hammerland, Charlottetown, PEI. Norman Seamus McLean, Blues Mills, Nova Scotia. Nathan Shea, Brockville, Ontario. Brandon Thomas Tran, Toronto, Ontario. Wei Xing Zhang, China. I'd like to ask all of the graduates to please stand at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the graduates of the class of 2018. I guess you can see on the screen you're getting a standing ovation there with all your fans and supporters. Please be seated for a few more minutes. Before we close our formal celebrations, I would like to ask our president, Brian McMillan, to bring his personal greetings and best wishes to you graduates and to your families and friends.
All right, good afternoon, and what a great afternoon it has been. Platform guests, Minister Gallant, college staff, friends and family members of the graduates, and of course, our special guests, the graduates, the reason why we're all here and celebrating today. On behalf of the entire Holland College community, I want to extend a very warm welcome to everyone to be here today, and so that you could join us in this celebration of achievement. And I think this was a pretty good graduation. What do you think? Not bad? You think? Let's hear it. Come on, give it up. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It doesn't get much better. I just get thrilled. This is awesome. So we started off with Jennifer and singing "O Canada," a beautiful rendition. Thank you, Jennifer, for that. And then, of course, and I'm going to, for a minute here, just focus in on our student speaker and our guest speaker. But first of all, Brandon, you nailed it. Awesome job. So glad that you came to Holland College. You know, and what a message. You know, what's the meaning of life? Happiness, and you be happy for who you are. And that's a pretty good message. So thank you. I think many of us will be thinking about that for a few days ahead. And of course, Melody. Wow. Now you know why she's one of our distinguished alumni. Here's a woman that has done so much in a short period of time. And I love the idea. I wanted to work for a company that I really liked. I know what I'll do. I'll start my own company. And then it'll be a company that I like. And look what she did with the company she liked. Did awesome things. So thank you for not only bringing recognition to the college, but to our island. And I'm looking forward to the years ahead of working with you. Thank you so much. And of course, Minister Gallant, you're always here to support us. And I can tell you, a lot of people I don't know realize or appreciate, and it's not often I talk about our board, but we have had an outstanding board since I've been president. And that board has really helped us to accomplish many of the things we did. So without our board, I mean that. I mean, staff and everybody else are really important too, but the board gives us a lot of guidance and gives us the room to make some moves and try to do some really innovative things. So thanks to our board as well. Thank you. Okay. So graduations, and I realize I'm in between food now and chance to socialize, so we're going to speed this up a bit. Graduations represent a very special time in the life of our college. It gives us a chance to reflect on the past and also to recognize those individuals who helped us reach this pinnacle of success. And so today I would like to ask the grads to give some thought to, and it was already mentioned in a couple of our keynote addresses, about the importance of the people who got you here. And so let's take a couple of minutes, and as you look around this room, first of all, I'd like the graduates to join me in thanking those friends and family members, aunts and uncles, who gave you that little lift when you weren't so sure that you're going to get through the storm. And so let's hear it for those parents and family members. The next thing I'm so proud of, in addition to our graduates, are our staff. And when I say our staff, I'm talking about everybody from our admissions office, our counselors, our educational support folks, our faculty, our cleaners who keep our facilities impeccably clean, it's everyone, our librarians, it's all of us that make it work. And so would you join me in giving all of those folks a big round of applause, because they're awesome. Only about 2 more points, so we're moving here. The other thing I feel really proud about is that I know that you've received the great technical skills training to do your various occupations, whether it's welding, whether it's graphic design, whether it's, well, for me it'd be a struggle, but music and dance. Trust me, I would be a project. But on a very serious note, though, you've been given those great technical skills, paramedicine, and those are really, really important, right? These are the things that you get the credential and people say, yes, you can be a paramedic, you can do this, you can do that, you've got the competencies. But the other thing that you receive when you come here are those soft skills, or what we call the employability, or the new term now is transformational skills, the ability to make decisions, to be a critical thinker, to be self-directed, to be creative. All of those skills. And what happens when you go for a job, they say, do you have the credential? Yes, I do. But then what's the rest of the interview about? It's about those soft skills. And they ask you, how do you handle this situation? What would you do? Tell me a time when this happened, that happened. And so those are the things that allow you to really excel. And I believe that the training that you get here and the practical, objective, hands-on training, you've got some practical examples to say, yes, this is how you can handle it. Here's an example of being a decision maker, decisive, self-directed, et cetera. So I think that's a real boost. And I'm sure that with those transformative skills, you'll go on to excel and become leaders in your chosen field. And speaking of leaders and leadership, I'd like to, as we close off here, I'd like to leave you with some words of wisdom. And I'd also, I'm going to invite you to take up a personal challenge. And seeing that we're in a maritime province and seeing that we talked about being in storms, I think this quote's very appropriate. Oliver Wendell Holmes once said, I find the great thing in this world is not so much knowing where you stand as in what direction you are moving. To reach the port of success, you must sometimes sail with the wind and sometimes against it, but you must sail and not drift nor lie at anchor. So I invite you to hoist your sails, go out in the world, make a difference, be it in your occupation, be it in your community, be it on the world stage. I'm sure there's going to be some of you who hit the world stage. Guarantee it that that's going to happen. Everybody in this room today knows that you can accomplish whatever you put your mind to wanting to do. It's just up to you. Go get it, stay safe, and keep in touch. Thank you very much. Now that I'm getting ready for retirement, I have a lobotomy every now and then. I forgot to thank a very important group of individuals. This graduation, if you have noticed, went very smoothly, quite seamless. Everybody got the right credentials, the accents on the Spanish names, but seriously, all of the things that were done here were done just perfectly. And it's not an easy task to try to pull that off. So I just want to thank Maureen and the admissions staff and her team. Where are they? Over there. I can see some of them. Anyway, thank you very much, and would you join me? They did a great job.
Thank you, Brian. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, our graduation exercises are now completed. Thank you for joining us here today, and I invite you to the room directly behind us to continue the celebration. And lastly, graduates, as you exit the ballroom, be sure to pick up a little treat from our alumni office that they have for you out in the hallway. Guests, we'd ask now that you please rise for the departure of our platform guests and our graduates. Congratulations again.